Nessa sitting here with me today because this is such an interesting and powerful segment that I got to be a part of. I've been telling you a little bit about this.
A sneak peek of something moving, right?
Right, very moving, and right here, you guys, in Indianapolis, because it all started nearly 53 years ago. Robert Kennedy stood on the back of a pickup truck. This was during a routine visit to Indianapolis, and Nessa. He was delivering the news no one saw coming. Martin Luther King Jr. had been fatally shot. Kennedy delivered that message in a moment of calm, togetherness, and peace. Here are two witness accounts from that day, again, back in 1968, as we celebrate the Kennedy King Memorial Initiative forever, a historic place in our city.
From that direction of the photograph that you're taking there, that the flatbed truck would have been parked this way. And so I was like behind there. I was 24, just out of the Navy. I'd come over to hear his speech, you know. Of course, I was in the service when his brother was president, and wanted to see if they were on the same page, more or less.
The leadership of the UAW at the time, Elwood Black being the president of the Marion County organization, and me being the secretary, we were very strongly in favor of Robert Kennedy's candidacy. I heard that he was speaking in this area, this being the most populous ward of Democrats in the state of Indiana. That's why he was here. Except that Dr. King had been murdered.
Did you know about any of this?
I heard it on the radio coming over. And I wanted to come anyway to see if he was going to speak, and it was pretty obvious he was going to.
Of course, the political speech didn't take place, and then he told us that Martin Luther King had been assassinated. The majority of the people, myself included, did not know that it happened.
For some, it was a confirmation of what they had heard. For others, it was absolutely a new revelation.
So from the moment he made the announcement that Martin Luther King had been shot and was indeed dead, it was a gasp, a sound of shock, disbelief, screams.
I've never heard any sound quite like it. It was a kind of collective moan. It was just awful.
And not only was it audible, I don't know, you know, to me it was physical, because I felt this, the wave of that, you know, personally. I felt my emotions go from one extreme to the other. And there were a number of white people in the crowd, you know, that, you know, I didn't want to see.
I didn't feel threatened at all. I was mourning already. I was mourning the loss of what could have been.
In the course of that 6-minute, so they say, impromptu speech, I felt the change. It went from hate and anger to one of remorse and grief, thinking that this young man had just lost his life for a cause of love that is going to affect not only us African Americans, but the world.
And I have to say, Robert Kennedy that night gave the best speech I have ever heard. It was wonderful, and it was from his heart.
Finally, at the end of the speech, coming to understand what Martin Luther King's message was. Love is powerful than hate. Light is better than darkness. And knowing and realizing that he had given his life, he had paid the ultimate sacrifice, you know, for a message of love. So that, you know, that profoundly affected me.
Martin Luther King dedicated his life to love and to justice between fellow human beings. He died in the cause of that effort. What we need in the United States is not division. What we need in the United States is not hatred. What we need in the United States is not violence and lawlessness, but is love and wisdom and compassion toward one another, feeling of justice toward those who still suffer within our country, whether they be white or whether they be black.
Oh, it just makes me emotional all over again. If you would like to learn more about the Kennedy King Memorial Initiative, visit kennedykingindy.org. Anessa, it's so powerful and it is so emotional listening and hearing those testimonies. It really makes you feel as if you were right there with them, hearing that for the first time.
That's right, and there's so many benefits to looking back in history, and I love all the wisdom that those two men shared. Thank you for pointing us to the light and making our day even better, Amber. We appreciate that.